Alright guys, I am back once again with another trade recap video. This is going to be the recap on the trade IREN that I took on Friday. No 0DTE lotto on this one, like I did promise a couple weeks ago that I was gonna at least get one video going over a 0DTE, but not yet. This is a normal trade that I've been taking. It's been the same strategy over and over again. Different than a breakout strategy, right? This is just basically buying the strongest stocks on the dips to the 90 MA or the 80 MA. And it's the same strategy, right? It's just been working every single time the last few weeks. So I keep on doing it every single time. Similar to the trade yesterday on ASTS. I'm not gonna go over the strategy too much. But let's get right into it. First off, I'm gonna go through the entry first, like I always do, right? I like to show you the exact entry, the time that I take it, and then I'll go into the chart and show you the exact time on why I took it, right? So same thing, right? Obviously, I'm still my ASTS runners, right? Hit as high as like 92% yesterday on my last runner, and I think we're up to like 60 or 75% now. So it's down a little bit today, but obviously I'm leaving my runner to at least a break-even stop, right? So it's risk-free, or for it to continue to run right through 100% or wherever it wants to go. So new trade today, right? IREN 130, right? So again, next Friday's expiration, a little bit differently than what I've been usually, or what I'm usually doing, right? Obviously a month away in expiration, but again, right, when I do that, it's a small size, and I'm only doing that. I actually really wanted to get next or February 20th call expirations, but there are earnings in like 2 weeks, I think, or next week or something. So usually when stocks have earnings, the expiration or the contracts after that expiration or after that earnings date are way too expensive, right? So they price them up for a for whatever the IV is for the earnings, right? So they price them a little bit more expensive. So I just stuck with the 130 so I can get some good priced options. So that's what I did, right? Added a small size, and I even said, right, earnings are in 2.5, so that's why I'm not taking the February's. And I got these around 2.08, so right around a $2 average, with my stop loss at 51.6, right? So I added my stop loss in. I knew exactly my plan going ahead of it. I knew my take profits, and that's what I do, right? So I make sure I know all that stuff before taking the trade, like I always do. And then here we go. I'll go through real quick, right? 13%. Didn't trim yet, and then okay, 20%, right? 30 minutes later, or no, not even 10 minutes later, already 20%, right? So caught a really good entry on it, and it immediately ran 20%. So I trimmed half off, right? I probably should have trimmed a little bit less than half at 20%, but next week's expirations, I play a little bit safer, and I trim a lot quicker, right? So 20% off, or 20% trimmed half off, and then I had another trim around 9 minutes later for 40%, right? So this thing kept ripping and ripping, right? This is a quick moving stock, quick trade as well. So this thing was starting to move as soon as I bought it, minutes later, right? So 40% trim came up to 50%. So I, had to just screenshot that. And then the next trim I had was on at 62%. So about 30 minutes later, right, around 10 a.m., 62%. And now I'm holding my last few runners, right? So I have, I think, 2 contracts left. And then obviously I had to screenshot the 67%. Had to. No corny shit, but I had to. And that's where it's at right now, right? So I think we're still around like 61% from the highs. I think the high it went to was like 75%. Now we're back to the little 62%. But obviously I'm leaving my runners to at least run. And I'm hoping to hold this for an extra few days, right? A lot of the time I've only been having a few runners to swing trade. We've been getting some really good moves the same day we bought it, and it's kind of this strategy that's been working. It's literally just been running like 50-60% in one day. So it's like it's hard to just not at least trim a lot of your position off. Once you get 60%, it's like it's kind of just a big move already, right? And obviously this is a swing trade, thinking this can go a lot higher, which is why I'm holding at least something, right? I'm holding a few runners. So let's go through the trade real quick. So same strategy as the last few trades, right? Similar to ASTS, right? It's undercutting the ADMA, the strong stocks, right? Or undercutting the ADMA on the daily, and then reclaiming it as soon as possible. And that's when you want to buy it, right? You want to buy it at the lows let it run, because breakouts are a little bit shaky, right? So my usual strategy is breakouts, and there's obviously good times to take those breakouts, and then there's times where you get the strategy like this that's working a lot better, right? Breakouts still can work, and there's a few stocks that have been breaking out that have been really nice, but the best entries right now have been the undercut and rally, right? And then you hold them for the potential breakout. So that's what's been working right now. So IREN, right, similar to ASTS from yesterday, right? We undercutted the ADMA. We bought it on the undercut as it starts to push back up above the moving averages, and then you buy it and you get those big moves, right? So again here, right, you can see it undercut even this big key level, right? So I had 51.6 marked off because we had this, big level here, some resistance there, resistance or support here, resistance here, and then we're trying to act this spot out as a support again, right? So that's why I bought it, because we're right near the support. We undercutted that part and we reclaimed that 60 or that 51.60 spot. So basically trapping a lot of these buyers that got stopped out and then ripping it back up. So that's where we buy the stock at. So let's drop down to the 15-minute. Actually, we'll go down to 5, right? That's where I entered the stock at. So similar to every single day, right? It's the same thing. It at the opening, first 15, 20 minutes, it pushes below, right? We lose support here and really start to push, and we get pushed under again, right? We start to really get under the support level here. So it seems like a lot of people that are long this stock at the support level getting stopped out, just for it to immediately kind of just sweep them out and reclaim it, right? So we did exactly that, right? We come down and reclaimed it the next 15 minutes, right? And that's where I entered it as soon as we started reclaiming it. Should have been a little bit earlier, right? If I would have caught it on the first initial push through it, right, which was this 9 p.m. candle, would have been a bigger trade, right? Obviously, just a little bit bigger, but that would have been the best entry. Obviously, I took it around 9:20. So at around this entry here, right, you can see this small little flag here we had, and that's when I took it, right? We started pushing it. We're holding above these moving averages here on the 5-minute intraday, right? We started flipping the moving average here. So the 9 was starting to get back above the 21 and the 50. Took that entry at this candle here, and immediately, right, bang, right? The next 20 minute or next 45 minutes or however long this is, rips up 7% in the stock. And that's where you catch 60%, right? 70%. And this is continuing to run here. You can see this. We have a small pullback here just to the 5 EMA or the 9 EMA, and we're starting to have support on that level. So this should continue to run towards the end of the day and into tomorrow as well. So that is the entry, right? Similar to ASTS yesterday, right? Real quick, right? Similar. We lose, well, actually from the day before, we lose support. We push up, right? That would have been a good entry to take it that Wednesday at the close. Obviously, I took it the next day as we gapped up and was showing support above the moving averages on the daily. Showed support, we held up, right? And then we took it and it absolutely ripped. So we dipped in the morning and ripped at the end of the day, towards the end of the day. And then another one, right? APLD is a really good one right now. It's doing the exact same thing, right? It's undercutting the 9 or the 8, and then it's reclaiming it, right? And it's starting to break out here. And so that is what you want to do, right? You buy it on the sweep of the lows, and you target, right, for the potential breakout, right? And that's what's happening right now. It's starting to break out here. If you would have taken it on this breakout around 36.5, right, this would have been the normal entry on breakouts, right? If you were just trading that strategy, and you'd still be up, but not as much, right? And obviously you missed out on this whole move before it broke out, which you should already be up at this point, right? Around like 80% if you would have taken it, as an example. But yeah, that's been the strategy that's been working. That is another trade recap for you. Stay tuned to the next one. Like and subscribe. Comment on it. Like the video too. And subscribe.